Hello again, everybody. I'm JimmyTheSaint, and you're watching the new Fallout 4 launch trailer released earlier today. After this trailer, I'm going to show a little bit of concept art from the Fallout 4 announcement trailer and some footage of the new Pip-Boy. I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about Fallout 4. Well, not just Fallout 4, but what we know from previous games leading up to Fallout 4. For those of you that have not played the earlier Fallout games, this will be a good time to catch up on the series. And I'll briefly go over the Fallout universe and discuss what we know about the events leading up to Fallout 4. So, Fallout 4 takes place in an alternate history, a sort of golden age of retro-futuristic technology with advanced robots and nuclear-powered cars, that sort of thing. The story begins around the year 2077. There was a major global energy crisis that led to what was referred to as the Resource Wars. It led to a great war between the European Commonwealth and the Middle East, and during this time the United States annexed Canada, China invaded and occupied Alaska. We saw that in Fallout 3. Eventually this escalated into a full-out nuclear exchange, which left the United States and presumably most of the world completely destroyed. And this is the world in which the Fallout games take place. This is their universe. Fearing something catastrophic like this, about 20 plus years or so before the Great War, the United States started on a secret project to preserve its citizens and way of life. They started building massive, self-sustaining fallout shelters they dubbed vaults. And the construction of these vaults were contracted to a company called Vault-Tec. About 122 vaults were constructed. Each one is self-sufficient, able to house around 1,000 people. But what was not known is that Vault-Tec wanted to use many of these vaults to conduct large-scale, widely varied, and in most cases pretty twisted social experiments. And we've seen a lot of these experiments in previous games. They include like a vault that was filled with, it was nothing but clones of a single individual. Another was designed so that all the clothing manufacturing machines would fail almost immediately upon sealing the vault, and everyone was forced to go naked all the time. One of them I remember had no forms of entertainment for its inhabitants, and they kind of went crazy and that sort of thing. In one of them I remember, I think from New Vegas, they had to vote on and sacrifice an inhabitant every year, and it was usually ended up being the overseer and down until there was almost no one left. So in most of these vaults ended up being nothing but tombs for these people. In the first Fallout game, you play as a vault dweller from Vault 13, and it takes place around Southern California. The year's about 2161, something like that, almost 200 years after the great apocalyptic nuclear war. Fallout 2 takes place around 80 years later, something like that, and you play as a descendant of the original Vault Dweller from the first game. And then Fallout 3, and all other major Fallout games for that matter, are not really direct sequels to the original storyline. Fallout 3 takes place around 30 years after the events of Fallout 2. And it's in the Washington, D.C. area, otherwise known as the Capitol Wastes. You again play as a Vault Dweller, forced to flee Vault 101 this time. Fallout 4, we don't know a tremendous amount of information yet. What we do know is that the game takes place in and around Boston, Massachusetts. The year is 2281, 10 years after the events in Fallout 3. You again play, this time you play as the sole survivor from Vault 111. From what we've seen from E3 footage and trailers, in Fallout 4, we're going to get to see what the world looks like before the nuclear war that left everything in ruins. This is the playable character, which, from what we've seen, you have a lot of freedom to customize at the beginning of the game. You're alive, and you're granted access with your family to the Fallout shelter, Vault 111. And then, after well, I guess to say that a lot of people have been speculating about how the character you create at the beginning of the game, which is around the year 2054, sometime around there, 2055, how that character is still alive when they emerge from the vault some, 200 years later or whatever it is. How you are still alive. My personal guess is there's some sort of cryostasis or hibernation thing going on, but we'll have to wait and see. Fallout 4 releases November 10th, around midnight for most everywhere in the world. I am really excited to play the game. I'll be posting my first playthrough video as soon as I can get it edited, compiled, and uploaded. If you're interested in more, hit the subscribe button. I post a new video every day, and look forward to having you all come along on this exciting journey. Please hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. Hit the thumbs down if you don't. Leave any other comments down below, and I look forward to hearing from all of you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.